Greetings, my name is Sean Houck. I'm represented by Jess Rapp at Jess Talent Management. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I really appreciate it. Why does the crown lie there upon his pillow, being so troublesome a bedfellow? Oh, polished perturbation, golden care, that keeps the ports of slumber open wide to many a watchful night. Sleep with it now, yet not so sound nor half so deeply sweet as he whose brow with homely big and bound snores out the watch of night. Oh, majesty, when thou dost pinch thy bearer, thou dost sit like a rich armor worn in heat of day that sculpts with safety. By his gates of breath there lies a downy feather which stirs not. Did he suspire that light and weightless down perforce should move? My gracious lord? My father? This sleep is sound indeed. For this is the sleep that from that golden rigel hath divorced so many English kings. My due from thee is tears and heavy sorrows of the blood, which nature, love, and filial tenderness shall, dear father, pay thee plenteously. My due from thee is this imperial crown, which as immediate from thy place and blood derives itself to me. Lo, where it sits, which God shall guard, and put the world's whole strength into one giant arm, it shall not force this lineal honor from me. This from thee shall I to mine give, as 'tis left to me.
Fort God, I'm exceeding weary.
Is come to that. I had thought weariness durst not have attached to one of so high blood.
Faith, it does me. Though it discolors the complexion of my greatness to acknowledge it. Doth it not show vilely in me to desire small beer?
Oh, why, a prince should not be so loosely studied as to remember such a weak composition.
Belike then my appetite is not princely God, for by my troth I do remember now the small poor creature called small beer. But indeed these humble considerations make me out of love with my greatness. What a disgrace it is to me to remember thy name, or to know thy face tomorrow, or to take note of how many pair of silk stockings thou hast, vis-a-vis these, and those that were thy peach-colored ones, or to bear the inventory of thy shirts, as one for superfluity and another for use. But that the tennis court keeper knows better than I, for it is a low ebb of linen with thee when thou keepest not racket there. As thou hast not done in a great while, because the rest of thy low countries have made a shift to eat up thy Holland.
Oh.
And God knows whether those that bawl out the ruins of thy linen shall inherit his kingdom. But midwives say the children are not in the fault, whereupon the world increases and kindreds are mightily strengthened.
How ill it follows, after you have labored so hard, you should talk so idly. Tell me, how many good young princes would do so, their fathers being so sick as yours at this time is?
Shall I tell thee one thing, Poins?
Yes, faith, and let it be an excellent good thing.
It shall serve among wits no higher breeding than thine.
Oh, go to. I stand the push of your one thing that you will tell.
Mary, I tell thee, it is not meet that I should be sad now my father is sick. Albeit I could tell to thee, as to when it pleases me for fault of a better to call my friend, I could be sad, and sad indeed too.
Very hardly upon such a subject.
By this hand thou thinkst me as far in the devil's book as thou in Falstaff for obduracy and persistency. Let the end try the man. But I tell to thee, my heart bleeds inwardly that my father is so sick. And keeping such vile company as thou hast in all reason taken from me all ostentation of sorrow.
The reason!
What would you think of me if I should weep?
I would think thee a most princely hypocrite.
It would be every man's thought. And thou art a blessed fellow to think as every man thinks. Never a man's thought in the world keeps the roadway better than thine. Every man would think me an hypocrite indeed. And what a sight's your most worshipful thought to think so?
Why? Because you have been so lewd and so much engraft to Falstaff.
And to thee.
Oh, by this light, I am well spoke on. But I can hear it with mine own ears. The worst that they can say of me is that I am a second brother, and that I am a proper man of my hands, and these two things I confess I cannot help. Oh, by the mass, here comes Bardolph.
And the boy I gave Falstaff, I had him a Christian. And look at the fat villain hath not turned him ape. God save your grace. And yours, most noble Bardolph.
Come, you virtuous ass, you bashful fool. Must you be blushing? Wherefore blush you now? What, a maidenly man-at-arms are you become? Is such a matter to get a pottle-pot's maidenhead?
Calls me in now, my lord, through a red lattice, and I could discern no part of his face from the window. At last I spied his eyes, and methought I had 2 holes in the alewife's new petticoat, and so peeped through. That's the boy not profited. Away, you horse and upright rabbit, away! Away, you rascally Athena's dream, away! Instruct this boy, what dream, boy? Marry, my lord Athena dreamt she was delivered of a firebrand, and therefore I call him her dream. A crown's worth of good interpretation, there it is, boy.
Oh, that this blossom could be kept from cankers. Well, there is 6pence to preserve thee.
And you do not make him be hanged among you, the gallows shall have wrong. And how doth thy master, Bardolph? Well, my lord, he heard your grace's coming to town. There's a letter for you.
Oh, delivered with good respect. And how doth the mortal mass your master?
In bodily health, sir.
Marry, the immortal part needs a physician. But that moves not him. Though that be sick, it dies not.
I do allow this wen to be as familiar with me as my dog, and he holds his place. For look ye now how he writes. John Falstaff, knight.
Oh, every man must know that, as oft as he has occasion to name himself. Even like those that are kin to the king, for they never prick their finger, but they say, there is some of the king's blood spilt. How comes that? Says he that takes upon him not to conceive. The answer is as ready as a borrower's cap. I am the king's poor cousin, sir.
Nay, they will be kin to us, and they will fetch it from Japhet. But the letter. Sir John Falstaff, knight, to the son of the king nearest his father, Harry, Prince of Wales. Greeting.
Why, this is a certificate.
Peace. I will imitate the honorable Romans in brevity.
Oh, he sure means brevity and breath. Short, winded.
Commend me to thee, I commend thee, and I leave thee. Be not too familiar with Poins, for he misuses thy favor so much that he swears thou art to marry his sister Nell. Repent at times as thou mayest, and so farewell. Thine by yea and no, which is as much as to say thou usest him. Jack Falstaff with my familiars, John with my brothers and sisters, Sir John with all Europe.
My lord, I'll steep this letter in sack and make him eat it.
Well, that's to make him eat 20 of his words. But do you use me thus, Ned? Must I marry your sister?
Oh, God send the wench no worse fortune. But I never said so.
Well, thus we play fools with the time, and the spirits of the wise sit in the clouds and mock us. Is your master here in London? Yea, my lord. Where's Subsea? Doth the old boar feed on the old Frank? At the old place, my lord, East Cheap. What company? Ephesians, my lord, of the old church. Sup any women with him? None, my lord, but old Mistress Quickly and Mistress Doll Tearsheet. What pagan may that be? A proper gentlewoman, sir, and the kinsman of my masters. Even such a kin as the parish heifers are to the town bull. Shall we steal upon them, Ned, at supper?
I am your shadow, my lord. I'll follow.
Sarah, you boy, and Bardolph, no word to your master that I may come to town. There's for your silence. I have no tongue, sir. And as for mine, sir, I will govern it. Fare you well, go. This dull tear sheet should be some road.
I warrant you as common as the way between St. Albans and London.
How might we see Falstaff bestow himself tonight in his true colors and not be seen ourselves?
Put on 2 leather jerkins and aprons and wait upon him at his table as drawers.
From a god to a bull? A heavy declension. It was Job's case. From a prince to a prentice. A low transformation that shall be mine. For in everything the purpose must weigh with the follow. Follow me, Ned.
My liege, I did deny no prisoners. But I remember when the fight was done, when I was dry with rage and extreme toil, breathless and faint, leaning upon my sword, came there a certain lord, neat and trimly dressed, fresh as a bridegroom, and his chin new reaped showed like a stubble land at harvest home. He was perfumed like a milliner, and twixt his finger and his thumb he held a pouncet box, which ever and anon he gave his nose and took it away again, who therewith angry, when next it came there, took it in snuff, and still he smiled and talked. And as the soldiers bore dead bodies by, he called them untaught knaves, unmannerly to bring such a slovenly, unhandsome course betwixt the wind and his nobility. With many holiday and lady terms he questioned me, amongst the rest, demanded my prisoners in your majesty's behalf. I then, all smarting, with my wounds being cold, to be so pestered with a popinjay out of my grief and my impatience, answered neglectingly, I know not what. He should or he should not, for he made me mad to see him shine so brisk and smell so sweet and talk so like a waiting gentlewoman of guns and drums and wounds, God save the mark, and telling me the sovereignest thing on earth was parmaceti for an inward bruise, and that it was a great pity so it was that this villainous saltpeter should be digged out of the bowels of the harmless earth, which many a good tall fellow had destroyed so cowardly, and but for these vile guns, he would himself have been a soldier. This bald, unjointed chat of his, my lord, I answered indirectly as I said, and I beseech you, let not his report come current in accusation betwixt my love and your high majesty.